Shalom everybody and welcome back to my channel. The background behind me is a little bit different because I'm not in Israel. I'm still on my speaking tour here in the United States, currently in the state of Georgia. I've done Nashville, Oklahoma, now Georgia, flying back to Oklahoma, Kansas City, New York, and then back to the Holy Land. Now, while I am here, I see so much love and also so much hate coming from social media. I get death threats. People are saying that they're gonna assassinate me in my next meetings, and you know what? They don't scare me. I fear God, not people. And I know that the truth is such a powerful weapon that is able to set the enemies of Israel free from their hate. So I'm here continuing with my mission to tell the truth about Israel. And let's jump to some really big news that are happening right now in the Middle East that you should know about. But before we begin, I just want to encourage you all to subscribe to my YouTube channel to never miss any important update from the Middle East. And also, if you want to fight BDS, go to theisraelstore.com, shop Israel, fight BDS. Let's talk about Iran because big news are coming out of there. Is it good news or bad news? Because for the first time in 3 months, the IAEA, the International Atomic Energy Agency, reports a decrease in Iran's enrichment of uranium per month. But here's the catch, because while they decreased the enriched uranium that they produce per month, they have increased the total stockpile of uranium. So by that, they are basically trying to numb the world to not pay as much attention to what is happening right now in Iran. But here's what you should know. Iran has up to 60% enriched uranium. Iran has enough 60% material for roughly 3 nuclear bombs. If further enriched to 90%, Iran would only need a couple of weeks to produce that weapon-grade material, but probably much longer, a year or more, to build an actual bomb it could deliver. Back in 2018, former US President Donald Trump pulled out of the disastrous nuclear deal and applied sanctions on Iran. But when Joe Biden took office, he canceled that, and he said that we are willing to negotiate with Iran a nuclear deal. And this is a big deal because this could lead to World War III, a large-scale war that is not just in the Middle East, but could get the entire world involved. As we know, the Iranian regime is the one that's pulling the strings behind the war against Israel, funding Hezbollah, Hamas, Iraqi militias, the Houthis in Yemen. They are trying to destroy Israel, but not really Israel. Through Israel, they want to get to full domination of the Middle East and the entire world. So by attacking Israel, they are attacking you guys as well in the West, because they are a radical Islamist regime that do not tolerate anybody that thinks opposite from them. And how is the international community reacting to these big news coming from Iran? Well, on Monday, March 18th, the presidency of the Conference on UN Disarmament will be handed over to the Islamic Republic of Iran, a terrorist regime that kills its own people while racing to build a nuclear bomb to threaten the world, will be rewarded by the UN. Just think what kind of an example is it setting to the world, to other countries that are watching this. Those that keep human rights are being put under the microscope, like Israel and other countries, and those that violate human rights are rewarded with all kinds of presidencies, heading committees, and international forums. This is outrageous. Now, let's talk about what's happening in the Gaza Strip right now. The IDF is continuing its campaign against Hamas. Prime Minister Netanyahu said that the IDF eliminated 18 out of 24 Hamas battalions, and it is planning to enter the last stronghold of Hamas, Rafah, which is in the very southern part of the Gaza Strip. And of course, when it comes to Israel and attacking the last stronghold of Hamas, there comes a lot of oppression, a lot of pressure on Israel to stop this campaign. But let's not forget why this war started in the first place. We didn't start this war. This war was waged on us when Hamas carried out a genocide on Israeli people living in the land of Israel, massacring 1,400 people, kidnapping over 200 people. So if the world thought that Hamas's actions will come without consequences, they are wrong. Actions have consequences. And plus, when 9/11 took place, nobody said we understand both sides. Everybody knew that you have to attack and strike back these radicals. If you want peace, you have to uproot radicalism. And if you want to win peace, you have to win the war as well. We can't shake hands with radical terrorists that don't believe in our existence, but say that they want to destroy Israel. They don't want peace with Israel. They want peace on top of Israel. But what's very interesting in what we are seeing right now with this war in Gaza is that a lot of Palestinian people in Gaza are openly criticizing Hamas.
بتطخ على الناس الجعانه اللي مش لاقيه تاكل فطورها مش حرام عليهم خوضونا حرب احنا ما بدنا اياها احنا بدنا سلام انت اللي بتكتلنا يا سنوار مش الجيش الاسرائيلي انت اللي بتقتل فينا قاعد حرام عليك يا حماس.
Let's not forget that Hamas is a dictatorship that took control over the Gaza Strip, and what we want to do is to free Gaza from Hamas, because Palestinian people also deserve to live in peace, in freedom. I wish democracy for them as well, just like we have in Israel. But the point is that we cannot live next to a radical Islamic organization that terrorizes the lives of Israelis and Palestinians alike. And over to Brazil, President Lula made some pretty outrageous accusations against Israel, comparing Benjamin Netanyahu to Hitler and what the Israeli army is doing in Gaza to what the Nazis did.
E o que eu quero dizer alto e bom som é o seguinte: o primeiro-ministro de Israel está praticando um genocídio contra mulheres e crianças. Esse é o dado histórico.
What we are seeing, however, is completely the opposite, because Brazilian people do not agree with Lula. And we saw it very well when over 1 million people took it to the streets to stand in solidarity with Israel and with former President Bolsonaro, that was a true friend of Israel. So we see that President Lula represents everything that darkness has to offer. Darkness, communism, anti-Bible, anti-God, whereas Brazilians side with Israel, side on the right side of history, with democracy, with the light, and with the Bible. But I have to say the Bible has the perfect answer to Brazil's President Lula. Isaiah 41 verse 11 to 12 writes, "All who rage against you will surely be ashamed and disgraced. Those who oppose you will be as nothing and perish. Though you search for your enemies, you will not find them. Those who wage war against you will be as nothing at all." Lula, I hope you are reading the Bible, because it doesn't have good news for you. But with all these rumors of wars, conflicts, there is also good news, and they're coming from America. A new Harvard Caps Harris poll finds that most people support Israel and want to see peace. Despite what you might see online or on TV, American people and the majority of American people stand with Israel. Where it seems like everyone's against Israel, the truth is that 80% of Americans stand with Israel. And what's interesting is that especially the young generation, Gen Z, who also another poll found that most of them like President Donald Trump. So that's really bad news to the anti-democracy side that usually likes to champion words like liberalism, pluralism, democracy. But we are seeing that usually the radical left side, they stand for everything that's against that. They are saying, think like me or please shut up. And quite frankly, Gen Z does not like that. Gen Z likes honesty. Gen Z understands that there is propaganda on the mainstream media, that every mainstream outlet out there, most outlets have a political agenda, and they understand that what's going on in Israel could very well be on the borders of the United States, and they don't want that. they want secure borders, just like we in Israel want secure borders. So it's really interesting to see that. So as we wrap up this message, I just want to remind you the very powerful words from Genesis that says, I will bless those who bless Israel and curse those who curse Israel. So we are seeing that nations that stand with Israel, people that stand with Israel, blessing is coming their way. We see, the Bible tells us that standing with Israel is not just doing the right thing, it's the path to receiving blessings. So when you see everything that's happening on the news, when you see that people are trying to attack Israel, remember that Israel is the apple of God's eye. Remember that Israel is doing the right thing. It's a war between light and darkness. And what we are doing right now is what every other country would have done if attacked by a radical terrorist organization that massacred people, that kidnapped people. You can't make peace with people that don't believe in your existence. So sending blessings your way from the state of Georgia. My heart is always in Jerusalem. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I really appreciate this, and God bless you all.